Today's task is basically try and sort all this out. Well, you can see a lot of that wood's been sorted. Clear up all this up a bit, clear all this out, clear all this out, clear all this out. Yeah, everything's a bit everywhere because I've been doing a lot of woodwork and just accumulating and putting things into piles, but like just all the chaos to sort out. So that's today's task. I had a bit of a late start because I woke up at 7:30 and went, oh, actually, I just have a little bit more of a lay, and woke up at like, what, 12:30? So yeah, best get smashing. So this little lady's got quite a bad limp on her front left, and I noticed it was the other day. I said Brownie's been being a bit stalliony and chasey. Chased her up under a tree where she could get to and he couldn't, and she come out of it limping. So I think, unfortunately, he's going to have to go to the secondary field. These two girls are in lamb. Well, one of them's certainly in lamb, possibly the other. Can't risk them because he's getting a bit antsy as a teenager. But the field that he's going to is, surrounded by other horses and stuff, so we'll actually be probably a little bit happier there. And the girl's going off to lamb soon anyway, so that's gonna be a fun little video. Walking him a couple of miles down the road. Let's see how that goes. Job number 1: break out all the big bits and then dig out the fire pit so I can get it back to. So it's actually a smaller, nicer fire pit. Oh, that's not going to be fun. You can kind of see here I've got like some really chunky rubbly stuff underneath and then some ash in there, and then I'm raking because this is like 20mm gravel, but it's about 6-inch thick, which is thicker than it needs to be, so I'm raking it across over on top, so we'll end up like a good pathway through there. And I've got some crushed one up in the yard that I'm going to chuck over as well, just to make it look nice and fresh. I'm going from, I've got the rest of that to dig out, and then when I empty that out of that barrow, I'm then going to fill it with that shit and take it to the pigs, so that then they can enjoy the worms out of it and dig it into the ground and get some nice fertile ground. So yeah, it's from shit job to shit job to shit job, but they all need to get done. You can see when she walks, she does limp quite a bit. Seems like I'm actually moving, but I'm moving them towards the favourite food, ivy. I've unveiled a load for them. Come on, let's grab some ivy. You'll love it. First load, and they're getting stuck in there. Loads of worms, bit of nettle root, loads of food for them. Yeah, straight in at that nettle root, they love it. So he has just bossed her off this because they're both really enjoying the thistle, which just sounds mental, but yeah, pigs love the things that gardeners hate. But yeah, so I just come in and boss him off so that then they share, to let him know that I'm dominant, because once again, this is part and parcel of having animals, you have to let them know. So, but yeah, they're loving that thistle. See, that'd be an absolute nightmare normally, but treat for them. As I saw earlier, this one's got a little bit of a limp, and she's into keeping company, but I've had to knock up a bit of a, basically, fence off an area, because this little bagger keeps on chasing them, and one of them's got a poorly foot. Also, it's just good. I think it's she bruised it trying to run up one of the hills away from him, because I saw her come down limping. So hopefully this will keep her safe and secure for a day or so. Plenty of feed and chuck some water in for him, and yeah, I'll have to keep him cooped up for a little bit, but make sure her foot's fine before she leaves. So far along today, I don't know if you can see how much I've done, but here I've covered in ash, raked it over, got a load of that over. There's a big pile of ash. I've dug pretty much all the stone pile out, got through a good chunk of the horse manure. That's the ash spread out, and I've started to get through some of the stone over here. But I think I'm going to call it a day, as my finger's really not happy. I've just spent the last 20 minutes digging a hole in it to relieve the pressure. So I think I may have to go and do something about that. Nice hot bath and see if we can get the badness out. I've got some out myself, but let's see if it'll work its way out. Anyway, that's day 23 over. Let's see what 24's got to offer.